Okay, so let's take a look at fixing this wave animation. So what we're going to use is the agent clip properties. So first thing to mention here is, if you notice, I'm not going to drop this in line with this stream. Okay, this is going to come off to the side, and I'm going to connect up my agent here. So everything seems lost, so that's just because our preview is gone. So we want to be looking at wave 01. Still don't see anything because we don't have any clips added in here. So we want to use wave 01. There we go, and we can see our agent. And right now, nothing has changed. Okay, so what we're going to look at is this loop range here. So we're going to look for, so now you can see it's looping from frame 1 to 24. It goes to 24 and then back to the start. So I'm going to turn that off and then find some points at which I want to loop at. So maybe around here, okay, around 30 or a bit higher. And then he goes, and then I'm going to come back to a frame that looks, doesn't have to be identical, but similar, around 100 there. Yeah. Okay, so let's try that. So just to start, I'll do 30 to 100. So we'll just have to wait for it to get there. So you can see it's kind of working, but there we've got a big kind of snap, obviously. So one thing we can do to help is blending. Okay, so they're between, you can see there's blending between the two instead of jumping now, but it's still, we still got a bit of a weird jump there. So we could put up the blend, we could put it up to 10 or however many frames. So we got a blend of 20 frames there. It's quite a lot. There's still a bit of a weird movement. So I'm gonna, let's see, push this to 35. I think it was starting a bit early. There's still a bit of slowing down there at the end. Let's push this 95. There we go. That seems okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll probably repeat this a few times during this project, but you know, we're doing a much bigger crowd now. You know, we're gonna have thousands and thousands of people, and you know, we don't, these aren't going to be hero characters in our video. You know, they're going to be tiny like this, you know, right in the background. So there's going to be, we're just looking for general movements and colors and variations in scale. So, you know, we're not looking for, we don't, well, we want it to be as good as possible, but we don't need to worry about achieving, you know, perfect animations. Great, so that's okay for this one. Excuse me. And then I'll just, yeah, we can just copy and paste it over for this. Let's just see what that gives us. Probably won't be great. The animation is a bit different. It's actually not too bad. Let me see. Still a bit of a kind of slowing down on the last one. I'm going to push this back just a little bit. Yeah, it seems okay. Great. So yeah, the reason we bring these off to their own stream, if I drop a null now, oh, it's not a for each. If I drop a null and see what I get from here, you can see it's just a point, right? So we're not, you know, I can't feed a point in here because, you know, I want to see my agent, you know, so this comes off to its own stream here. And basically this is just a point somewhere to hold information, right? So if you look at the point, excuse me, we just got the one point with some attributes on it. We got the agent name And now we've got this blend duration, the clip name, we've got the looping information. Now we do have other stuff here which we haven't used, we don't need that, and that's it. Okay, so this, what we do with this is, if I just quickly drop a DOP network, don't worry about doing this. This isn't where we're going to be simulating, it's just to show you. And then the crowd object, sorry. Crowd object. Okay, so if you remember when we set up the crowd object, this goes into our crowd solver. And in here, you can see we got the initial geometry, which is the actual packed agents. We've got transition graphs, which we're not going to use. But here we got clip properties. So we're gonna drop in that information in here. Okay, and that's used to drive the, in our case, the loop and blend of that clip. All right, so get rid of that. We can put both of these together. So I'll just put in a merge. I don't really like to have wires cutting across like that, so I'm just going to drop in object merge. Should give this a proper name. Out woman clip props, and then just drop that in there. Okay, so we've got them both together here, and then drop another null. So this is what we will connect to the actual solver, right? To the crowd object. So let's call this out clip props. Okay, maybe I'll give that a color just to highlight it. Don't know, red, whatever you prefer. Bring that out, tidy it up a bit. Cool. Okay, we're ready to go with that.